All right, Ann, so Doritos is crashing the Super Bowl
Yes,
again
we
this
are.
year.
6 years in a row.
Oh my gosh. So the first time you did it was 2007.
Yes.
And that was, I mean, that was such a pivotal moment for the brand, right?
Yes, it was.
Doritos has always been a big advertiser in the Super Bowl, but
Yes.
that really changed things. Talk a little bit about kind of what's been different for the brand since you started that type of campaign.
You know, every year we try to do something a little different, right? But the core and the heart of it has always been the same. Doritos believes that it needs to put its consumer in charge of the brand, right? This is a brand that's targeted to the 19-year-old, right? So if you're younger than 19, you aspire to be 19. If you're 30 years old, you want to be 19, right? So this is a brand that says, look, today you want your voice heard. You want to kind of break the rules. So the how is probably different today than it was 20 years ago. And the how today is to put the creative control in your hands. And literally that's what we started back in 2007. And I gotta tell you, every year the consumers astound me. We keep doing better and better in the ad meter, right? So every year we up the ante. This year what consumers said was, you know, Ann, $1 million, love it. Love being on the Super Bowl. But can you open some doors for us? So we did. We went to Lonely Island, probably the most creative team in the industry. And they actually get to work with Lonely Island, the 2 finalists that are gonna air in the Super Bowl, on future Doritos projects. So think about it. You get $1 million potentially and get to work with Lonely Island. So cool.
So let's talk about the 5 finalists. You
Yes.
basically had how many entries? About over 6,000?
Yeah, 6,100, yeah.
And from that, you had to whittle down to 5.
It was hard, yes.
Talk about the finalists. What's common about them?
Well, you know what's common about any finalist that makes it? There's kind of 4 things that we look for, right? Being unapologetic about your love for the brand, right? Having something that's very entertaining, in culture, right? And also having somewhat of a twist, something you didn't expect, right? All 5 do that. And that seems to be the formula when it comes to the Super Bowl advertising. And all 5 definitely deliver on it.
Okay, so there are 5 ads.
Yes.
People are voting right now.
Finished yesterday.
Finished yesterday.
Yes,
Okay.
we have a winner.
We have a winner.
We do.
Are you going to share the winner?
Yes, on Super Bowl day.
Okay. Along with the creators, correct?
Yes, 'cause
they'll be finding out at the same time.
They'll be literally in a suite in Indianapolis watching as America watches.
Okay, great. So we have dogs. We have
Babies?
babies.
Yes.
We have hot models.
Yes, we got it all.
We have it all.
Yes, we do.
Can you give us any kind of clues or hints as to what you think the winning entry will be?
I think when you see it, you will love it.
The ads that have been consumer generated
Yes.
have consistently ranked in the top 5 on the USA Today ad meter.
Yes.
What does that say about consumer generated advertising versus agency created
You know,
created
I
advertising?
think when it comes to the Super Bowl, because it is almost the ad bowl as well, consumers know what consumers love, right? They're probably closest to the action. So it shouldn't surprise us when you have an aspiring filmmaker or aspiring marketer that they're going to put their all into this. They're going to be very in touch with the public. And actually, they'll probably produce something that if we'd seen it on a board, we may never have approved, right? So that's what's so exciting about this. And I'll tell you, in the 6 years that I've done it, no one has ever disappointed me in how they've portrayed their love for the brand. No one.
So this year we've seen so many ads be released prior to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Arguably that could dilute the power of the game itself because people aren't going to actually be tuning in and paying attention to the ads in the game the way they historically have. What's your take on sort of this pre-game release of the ads and the teasers that come with it?
You know, I think it's a different ball game than what it used to be before. I think all this pre-publicity is actually kind of the appetizer to the main course, right? I think the people who are in the know, call it maybe 10% of the population, they're into it, they like it, they create the buzz, it gets more interest generated. But when you think about the average American, they're probably not watching all this stuff, right? The day they watch is really the day that it gets revealed. And so I think it's better for the industry because I think it's creating more demand for what we call the ad bowl.
Sure. And do you actually see a bump in Doritos sales leading up to the game as a
we
result
do.
of launching or releasing these 5 finalists?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, at the end of the day, the only reason you continue to do something like this is threefold. One, you're doing it because it's right for the strategy of the brand and your consumer. Second, you want to make sure that it's driving the equity of your brand. And gosh, has it over the last 6 years. And then, of course, you want to make sure that it's helping you in sales because that's what you're in the business of. And on all 3 points, it has. And so we'll continue to do this as long as it continues to deliver.